aerobic nasal breathing. So I'm using the bike just because it's stationary and I can talk and film easier. But you can use a bike, you can use a real bike, you can use a rower, a ski erg, treadmill, you can run, you can walk if that's enough demand. But the demand you want should be about 65%, 70% of your perceived intensity. So it shouldn't be super easy, but you should be able to do it for at least 20, 25 minutes in a steady state. And then what we're gonna add to it is resistance training for the breath, which is nasal breathing. And the best way to do that is get a sip of water. Now, if you're going off on a run and you're no longer stationary or around your water, then you can try to be aware and just keep your mouth closed. But what happens a lot of times, what happens to me is when I go off on a run and I'm trying to do nasal breathing, when I'm conditioned to mouth breathing, sometimes it just automatically happens and I just don't even realize it, and I'm just all of a sudden mouth breathing for the last couple minutes. So this is a good physical cue in the beginning to use. So what you'll do is you'll take your water, you'll take a sip. I'm not gonna take one just because I need to talk while I do it, but we'll pretend I have that sip of water in my mouth. Now, it's not a big sip where your cheeks are poking out when you're trying to hold that in. It's just enough to cue you not to breathe through your mouth. So now I have that water in my mouth and I'm just riding at a pace of pretty good intensity, and I'm breathing through the nose. Now, once it starts to get pretty intense, what you can do is you can actually flare your nostrils physically to pull in some more air, or you can wear dilators in the nose. Either one would work. And you don't really want to fully complete. You want to get to that 20 minutes and be ready to breathe through the mouth. So that's where you kind of have to dial in your intensity. So if you're going real chill on it, like you're walking when you should be running, the benefits aren't going to really be there as much. Now, nasal breathing in general is great. You should be nasal breathing when you walk anyways. If you're walking and getting out of breath, then we need some more training in general. So the run intensity is where it's going to be, whatever you're doing. So the intensity defines what you're getting back. So I want you to be able to last 20 minutes on this, but if you can go to 25, then you're not going as hard as you should. So you should increase the intensity a little bit. Now, if you only got to 10 minutes doing this, then you need to dial the intensity back and just work on the breath. Some of you guys might not be able to do nasal breathing walking for more than 10 minutes. And that's fine. That means you just need to be walking and doing nasal breathing.